Good evening, Rabotai. We spoke last time about the halachot of learning Torah, Talmud Torah. So we said that a person has to set aside time to learn Torah every single day. What should he be learning during that time? In the morning and in the evening? A person has a very limited amount of time to learn. The Chabra writes a person should learn halacha. He should learn the sources, he should learn the reasons, and he should learn what to do. The simple al-tikri halachot, halichot el halachot. It's like walking. You have to first learn how to walk, and then you could start doing fancy stuff. A lot of times people want to learn parasha, people want to learn musar, people want to learn Kabbalah. That's all beautiful and nice. Everything has its time and its place. And the first thing is the foundation stone of your Torah study must be halacha, so we don't do sins, and when you do the mitzvot properly. And then obviously, you have to set aside time to learn musar, to work on yourself. If you're interested in Kabbalah, you could learn whatever little bit watered down version that's available to us to understand. Because a person who doesn't have foundation in Gemara, in Mishnah, and Halacha, there's no way he'll be able to study heavy duty Kabbalah. That's something that's beyond our pay grade. But a person has to know they need the last siyata d'shmaya. You need to pray to Hashem that you should have help from above. They should be able to have time to learn Torah and to be able to understand what you're saying. That's why the Gemara says, it says that Rabbi Nehoniah ben Akana said you have to say a prayer before you come to Bet Midrash, and you have to say a prayer before you leave the Bet Midrash. And it's halacha. You have to say, open the Gemara, and in the beginning of most Gemarot, over here they have a prayer you have to say before you start the Torah study session, and you have to say the prayer before you leave. But a person has to know that it's important to have assistance from above. You have to ask Hashem to help you. And finally, after you finish the shiur, let's say you have a shiur with a bunch of your friends in the synagogue, there we have Kaddish al Yisrael. We say Kaddish al Yisrael after we learn. Now it's interesting, we always say, so you have to understand that sometimes you don't always have a minyan when you study Torah. So maybe you had 7 people, maybe you had 8 people. So in order to grab 3 people after to make a minyan, but those 2 people you grabbed, they didn't learn. So the minhag became, we always say, it's a teaching from the Gemara, and that way it's considered that 10 people learn together. That way they could say Al Yisrael together. You should know a person who's not Avel, who's not Azui, if he has a yortzeit, or if he wants to say Kaddish for someone, even though he has no more chiyuv, he's always allowed to say Al Yisrael. Anybody who had lost a loved one, he's allowed to say Kaddish Al Yisrael after the learning. So the person has to make sure to try to hear Rabbi Hananiah when they bring him into the room for the minyan. There's a nice story to show how important it is to have siyata d'shmaya by showing Hashem when you care. When you care, Hashem helps you. There was a very rich man who came to the yeshiva. He said to the Rosh Yeshiva, please give me the best boy in the yeshiva. I want him as domot. So he said to him, okay, how are you going to choose? He says, listen, you know what, Rabbi, I'll ask a very tough question. Whoever answers the question, that'll be the domot. And I'll pay for all his expenses for the rest of his life. So he goes and he gets up on the bima. He smacks the table, he says the question, nobody gives the answer. Everybody's struck, nobody knows the answer. So he says, hi, okay, gotta leave, gotta go to the next yeshiva. He starts going on his wagon to go to the next yeshiva. He sees one guy running out and he says, stop. It's an unbelievable question. What's the answer? He says, no problem. We're gonna do kiddushin now. You're gonna be the domot. He says, why? I didn't even know the answer. He says, I knew nobody was gonna get the answer. I wanted to see who cares and who loves the Torah. So therefore you really love Torah. That's why I want you. So therefore, a person has to know, even though you can't always study Torah and your schedule doesn't always work, Hashem wants to see who cares. And whoever shows he cares, that's who Hashem helps. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen.